Oh my god. Good day, y'all. Oh, feels so good to be back. And, oh, the background? Oh, just something I threw together. I didn't even think you'd notice. Stupid. I have been gone for a few months. If you didn't watch my most recent upload before this one, I went to the US. I had not been home in 5 years, so I hadn't seen my family and my American friends in a long time. My plan was to film. I brought my filming equipment. I brought my camera. I brought my mic. I brought my preamp. Obviously brought my laptop. When I got there, I just wanted to spend time with family. So I'm sure you guys can understand, considering I hadn't seen them in 5 years. I just wanted to focus on seeing my friends and family. I know I don't need to explain, but I just wanted to mention that that's where I've been. And then when I got back, I immediately got COVID. So I was like, okay, can't film yet, because I was super keen, you guys. I bought so many things. Soaps, lotions, body sprays, perfumes, obviously, tons of fragrances. And I don't have everything here to show you guys. I mean, I'm going to show you guys a lot of stuff. I guess, do I call this a haul? I don't know if I want to call this a haul. It is more of like a favorites, because I guess these are the things that I've purchased, yes, in the past few months, but I guess I'll let you know if they've been like a favorite of mine. So maybe it's like a favorite / haul for the past 3 months. So is it an autumn haul, or is it like a fall favorites or an autumn favorites because I was in the US? Or is it a spring favorites because now I'm in Australia? Nearly everything I purchased over in the US is up on my decant shop. So if you're interested in any of these scents that I talk about today and you want to try them, I think some of them aren't even available in Australia. I don't even know. I think so. For example, Just Lychee by Fragrance World. I'm pretty sure I bought it in the US days after it came out. I don't even know if this one's available in Australia. So I have a couple fragrances coming tomorrow that I really want to do dedicated videos on. So Paris Corner's new Taskine Lactea Divina, I think it is. Yeah, Lactea Divina. So that should be here tomorrow, either tomorrow or Wednesday. And then I also have the new Mayar, the Cherry Mayar by Lattafa. That one's also coming. So I want to talk about those. Those are also going to be up on my decant shop. So those will probably be up before I get my video up. So if you guys are interested in trying, definitely follow my decant shop. Enough with the promotion. I guess I'll start with some minis. So I was trying to be conservative with what I bought full bottles of. Also, I have some decants of fragrances in my mom's collection. I do kind of regret not doing a video of my mom's collection because she also has a shit ton of fragrances, and she has a lot of fragrances that aren't available in Australia, and I would have loved to do a video talking about those. I have decants of some of them. Okay, so the first ones I want to talk about, Dolce & Gabbana Devotion. I think I talked about this in a video. I think I got a decant that my mom had sent me, and I smelled it and I was like, I don't know, I don't really think it's that great. Like, I feel like it doesn't really live up to the hype. And I've kind of changed my mind on this one. If you guys aren't familiar, it's a very heavy, like candied lemon and vanilla scent. So this is one that because when I got to the US, it was still summer. So I was kind of wearing like bright, citrusy, tart smelling fragrances. So Devotion is one that I would layer with Oakcha's Italian Cello. That one immediately got me compliments. This and Oakcha's Italian Cello, love that combination. So Italian Cello is vanilla, caramel. It's also got that citrus element. So it's a little bit different, but I think they layer really well together. I mean, obviously I was getting compliments. I don't know, I might buy a full bottle. We'll see how I go. We're just getting into like the really hot heat here in Australia. It's already starting to get pretty hot and it's not even summer yet, technically. So this is probably one I'll whip out and wear, like more citrusy, like still vanilla and sweet, but leaning a little more citrusy. So I feel like it's, I don't know, bright enough for summer and is not gonna like suffocate me or anyone around me for that matter. Very much enjoyed this. Very much enjoyed Italian Cello layered with it. Unfortunately, I didn't buy any full bottles of any of Oakcha's fragrances. I would have loved to. They are very expensive. Like I think they're like 40 to 50 USD. And in Australian dollars, it's a lot. It was a tough pill to swallow. I did bring home some decants of some of the ones that I wore a lot. So I guess off the back of that, I'll mention another Oakcha fragrance that I really liked. And if you're familiar with Oakcha, this might not be a surprise to you, but one that I wore a lot was Praise the Perfume. This is meant to be a dupe of Melanie Martinez Crybaby Perfume Milk. It's so good. Is it milky? I don't know if it's milky. I don't know if it's definitely creamy. I guess it is milky. It's powdery, but the powder in here is perfect. I think it beautifully complements the strawberry and the creaminess, and it's not too dense and heavy and thick and syrupy of a fruity sweetness. I love this one. Dreamy, creamy, feminine, delicate, powdery strawberry. I think you could wear this any time of year. I just couldn't justify the price for a full bottle. And you don't even get 100 mils. I think you only get 50 mils. But yeah, I really enjoy this one. If it was cheaper, this would be like one of the ones I would buy from Oakcha if I could only buy a couple. Praise the Perfume would be definitely near the top of my list of their fragrances that I really enjoyed while I was over there. Wore that one a lot. I did smell the Devotion Intense. I liked it. Didn't blow me away. I still like the original more. I think the hazelnut in there, it just wasn't quite sitting right with my nose. It just didn't feel as like effortless and smooth as the original Devotion. So that's kind of the impression that it left on me. Just figured I'd mention that. Another one that I wore a few times, unfortunately I didn't end up buying a bottle, and in hindsight, I wish I did. I can still buy one here though, but it is available in Australia, and that is Qissa Delicious. Really reminds me of Sabrina Carpenter's Sweet Tooth. I think they smell quite similar. It's got the same like fluffy, comforting, a little bit of cocoa in there, like a slight tang from a citrus. Very beautiful scent. Really great. It's gourmand, but it's not that heavy, thick, syrupy gourmand. I was really drawn to these lighter, airy vanilla, like slightly sweet vanilla scent stories while I was over in the US, maybe because they were just all around me. I mean, they are very popular. It's a very safe scent. It's very mass appealing. I understand why a lot of fragrance houses are just like, you know what, we're gonna stick to what we know works, because people like vanilla, so we're gonna keep releasing vanilla because then we know people will for sure buy it. Beautiful scent. Reminds me of Sabrina Carpenter's Sweet Tooth. So I do have a decant of that one, and I wore it a few times. Really enjoyed it. I still might buy a full bottle. We'll see. Okay, I've got a couple more decants, and then another one that I finally got to smell and kept going back and forth with buying a full bottle over here in Australia, and that is Al-Rehab Soft. Soft is it, if you're familiar with Pink Sugar by Alkalina, it's somewhat similar to that. It's got the same like slightly caramelly, slightly toasted, sugary scent. It doesn't actually have licorice from what I remember. Instead, it leans more into that citrus element. So if I were to compare it with Aqualina's Pink Sugar, I would say it's more citrusy, a bit crisper, a bit lighter, not as heavy, maybe more suitable for warmer weather if you're looking for something that's a bit fresher. This is something I feel like I could wear in the heat. Maybe will buy a full bottle. I don't know. I really enjoy it. Listen, it's very feminine. I would say it's kind of simple. Nothing wrong with simple scent stories. I really like this one, and I didn't get time to buy a bottle. It was like crunch mode like a week before. I reached a point where I was like, it's not gonna get here in time. So, Mom, can I steal some juice off of you? That sounds really weird. Obviously, she was like, you know what, smell everything in my collection, take whatever you want. And I did get some Al-Rehab Soft. I may or may not buy a full bottle, we'll see. Another one that I didn't wear, but I did smell it, and I grabbed some juice before I left the US, is Kayali's Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar. The sweetness in here, I will say I like it. I think the issue in here is that the sweetness is like too sharp. It's like too potent. It's not a smooth sweetness. It's a very like pow. It's a very loud sweetness. I think it's just a bit too strong for me. See, it's got bubble gum. It's got pear. Pear is generally a very safe sweet fruit and fragrance. I feel like when I see pear in a fragrance, it's like, yeah, that's a safe kind of sweetness to go with. You can almost never go wrong with a pear sweetness. I think where maybe this kind of goes south for me is the bubblegum accord. I don't know why. It's too heavy. It's too sharp on my nose. I could see myself wearing this and getting very sick of it very quickly. I guess another bubblegum scent that I did purchase a full bottle of is actually Candied Fantasy by Britney Spears. This one is, I think, more the kind of bubblegum that I really enjoy, where you maybe get a blast of a light, airy bubblegum, and then it dries down to like a beautiful floral, which is very much what Candied Fantasy is. It's not too heavy of a sweet bubblegum scent. It's a little bit lighter. In my opinion, it's more wearable. It is an EDT, to be fair, so it's not as potent. It doesn't last as long. I mean, you just gotta spray more, honestly. But I honestly think I prefer, this sounds crazy, I think I prefer like the bubblegum accord in Candied Fantasy. I'm not saying that they're comparable or similar, just in that with that bubblegum facet, I think I prefer something a little bit lighter, delicate. To me, this is way more wearable, digestible, whereas unfortunately Kayali's rock sugar is just, I think it's just too much. It's too much sweetness. It's too sharp on my nose. I feel like it would give me a headache pretty quickly. There you go. Britney Spears Candied Fantasy very much took me by surprise. I think I was expecting something very, very heavy and sweet, because I feel like that's what we're seeing a lot of recently. Like, if it's not vanilla, it's candy. It's just straight up a sugar candy. And while this did give bubblegum, it's not too heavy. You smell it on the initial spray, but the way it settles is still very floral. So I wouldn't say this is a gourmand. It's more of a fruity floral. I skipped over this one, Just Lychee by Fragrance World. This one I think I bought right after, it must have been right after it was released. I don't even think it's available in Australia yet. To be honest, I don't love it. It's that same issue that I have with some like those very heavy sweet fragrances, is that it's too much. Like, I smell this and go, I'm gonna get a headache. It's too overwhelming. It feels like I'm choking in the sweetness. It's just too much. It's too much sweetness for me. Maybe a little bit too synthetic. It's less juicy, more that really dry, pungent sweetness that I smell sometimes, and I don't mind it. I feel like if I were to wear this one, I would wear it very sparingly, and then maybe spray something that's a little softer, creamier, to maybe, smooth the harsh edges, more or less. I did do that pretty often, and I did layer very frequently, so scents like this that maybe were a little bit too much, maybe a little bit too sweet, maybe a bit too loud, I would very often layer, and some of you suggested this to me, and I'm so glad that I finally got my hands on it, is Skylar's Boardwalk Delight. Now, you can see, to be fair, okay, so basically what happened is I went to my mom's closet, found this one, because I remember you guys had mentioned it. A few of you guys did mention this one to me. And I was like, oh, okay, I want to try this one. And she had a few Skylar scents. And I immediately fell in love. I was like, oh my God, I get it now. It's the perfect level of sweetness. It's like perfectly creamy. It's soft and smooth and creamy. And anytime I have a fragrance where I'm like, I feel like this might be a bit too sharp, maybe a bit too loud, I feel like I want to smooth it out a bit, I would layer Boardwalk Delight on top. Basically, my mom had already bought me a bottle. So basically, I fell in love with this one like pretty quickly when I arrived in the US and was sorting through my mom's fragrances. I immediately fell in love with this one. I was like, oh, I really want to get a bottle. They're still pretty expensive. I mean, 50 ml bottles are still quite a bit. She gave me her bottle and she bought herself a new one, which was incredibly nice of her. I haven't actually used half the bottle, but I used quite a bit. Like, I would say I definitely used at least a quarter of the bottle in 3 months. And considering all the fragrances that I bought and was wearing and body sprays that I was wearing, that is a lot for me. Boardwalk Delight by Skylar. I know I'm probably so super late on this train. Great layering tool by itself. Delicious, soft, floaty. I don't know if I've ever used that as a descriptor. Floaty. Okay, yeah. So in here you've got cotton candy, you've got vanilla. Apparently it's got coconut milk. I don't really smell the coconut. I think if I did smell the coconut, I probably wouldn't like it as much as I do. Perfect equilibrium of sweetness, softness. This might be one of the rare fragrances I would actually empty and rebuy, because I feel like it layers so well with so many things. Y'all, I'm not even halfway. This video's gonna be so long. I did go into Victoria's Secret. The one that we had where my family lives in Oregon. There isn't like a really big Victoria's Secret store. It's relatively small. There wasn't a very big fragrance section. Anyway, I think they had just come out, or I don't know if this is their newest one still. Daring by Victoria's. Look at this. I bought this near the end of my trip, and I was wearing this one repeatedly. Like, often I was wearing this one. Okay, first of all, this one blew my tits off. Like, this legitimately, I tested it in Victoria's Secret. I smelled it, and my jaw dropped. I have never smelled anything quite this, I guess, like grounded and earthy, but smooth still from Victoria's Secret. I feel like a lot of their fragrances are very like powdery, sparkling, like not too sweet, but maybe bright and delicate. Maybe not, maybe just the ones that I've smelled recently. I don't know. Daring goes a whole different way. So this one is moss, amber, and bergamot. It's such a beautiful earthy, like, you know, that earthy sweetness that you get, like that really juicy earthiness from moss. Got it with this amber, which is very smooth. It's still quite a dense scent, and you've only got the bergamot to break up that thickness of the amber. It's just, okay, to be fair, I can see why some people might not like this. I'm seeing people say that it leans a little more like maybe too unisex for them. I wouldn't call this masculine, but I can definitely see why someone might smell this and go, not for me. Like, I feel like a man could wear this. And to be quite honest with you, I feel like a man could wear this, but it's just that earthy amber. It's such a simple scent story. I don't know why it just surprised me smelling this, something like this from Victoria's Secret, but I immediately fell in love with it, and I've been wearing it quite a bit. I was when I was in the US. I haven't been wearing fragrances a lot since I've been sick. The other one that I picked up, this is not new, is Tease Sugar Fleur. I don't know, is this their newest Tease even? I don't even know. Okay, so this one actually came out quite a bit ago. It came out 2 years ago. I know this has probably been already hyped like ages ago. This one is my favorite Tease I've ever smelled, definitely. I love the bubblegum sweetness in here. It's a little bit heavy, like it's teetering on, like maybe it's a little bit too much of a heavy bubblegum, but it's not too heavy that I didn't like it. And I bought a 10 mil. I don't like it as much as Daring. Completely different scent profiles. I would actually layer these together. I actually layered these together quite a bit. Is it a good combination? I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. It's, you got that really earthy, juicy amber, and then you've got like a fun, bright sweetness from Sugar Fleur. So I would mix these, and I quite enjoyed it. So in Sugar Fleur, you've got bubblegum, you've got caramel, you've got apple, but it's still floral enough that it's not making me feel ill. I can see why some people might not like it if you don't like that like very sweet citrus, candy, sweetness with very heavy. It's very girly. It's, again, one of those simple, like, it's got a floral dry down. It's got some jasmine in there. I did notice, though, when I would layer these two together, Daring always very well outlasted Sugar Fleur. Guess it's not really that surprising considering the heavy amber in this one, but Daring lasted a long time. Like, I would smell this hours later, like end of the day, I would still smell it. Sugar Fleur, I swear, like an hour or two later, I couldn't even smell it, but I could smell this one. So if nothing else, Daring definitely has that better longevity, at least for Victoria's Secret scent. Yeah, love Daring. Might even be one where I run out of this one and maybe buy a full bottle. Well, maybe not from Australia, because things from Bath & Body Works and Victoria's Secret are like, the price difference is astronomical. I don't think at their price in Australian dollars, they're worth buying. Obviously, you got lots of body sprays. This one I haven't even opened. I haven't even opened this one yet. Look, so I got Platinum. This was, I think, their newest release when I left a month ago. If you don't like patchouli, I don't think you would like Platinum. Oh my god. So, okay, so the notes in Platinum are, you got bergamot, silver blooms, so some nondescript white florals, and patchouli musk. Is that actually, I don't think that's a flower. I think they just mean a myriad of white florals, unless I'm missing something here. Are they just being silly again with the note description? I really much enjoy this one. It kind of reminds me of why I like Boss the Scent Elixir for her. It kind of gives me that same vibe, like very like rich, old money, like a little bit old school, but like slightly modern. You still got like some, like a modern amber richness. I don't know. I really like it. I really like how the sweetness and the balance of the sweetness in here and the patchouli. I think it's very grown. I would say if you don't like patchouli, you probably wouldn't like this. It's pretty patchouli heavy, but this is one of them where I smelled immediately and was like, I'm buying it. I'm buying it right now. I'm not even thinking about it. It's mine. I think when I picked it up, they weren't having a sale on any of the body care items of the scent. So I did grab that. And then I also grabbed the body spray. And I grabbed the body spray too. I like both. I like it a lot. Unfortunately, I wouldn't wear it right now with how hot it's been. This is probably one that's going to sit and chill until autumn, late summer, perhaps. It's too thick and dense for warm weather. I think I would make others ill if I were to wear this in the heat right now. Another Bath & Body Works fragrance, Tropidelic. And this is one that I've talked about before on this channel. I love the body spray, all the body care items, the shower gel, the lotion. Oh, I love the Lang Lang in here. It's so thick and juicy and earthy. If you don't like Lang Lang, you definitely wouldn't like this one, but I love the tropical Lang Lang in here. It just makes me happy. It just makes me happy. So I got that one. This was actually a gift on arrival from me mom. A couple more decants. I got large sizes of these. So these were a couple that were in my mom's collection that I really wanted decants of before I left, but didn't have the time to buy full bottles, unfortunately. So they are Rouat Al Oud and Rouat Al Musk. Am I saying that right? Oh my God, please. I'm so sorry. Arabic is such a beautiful language, and maybe I need to learn. I think, because I want to do these fragrances justice by actually pronouncing them correctly. Okay, got 10 mils of both of these. The musk, it's not actually musky in my opinion. It's a very heavy white floral scent. It's a very simple white floral. It's got a little bit of a sweetness in there. This is one that I would be very careful about being too heavy-handed because it can come across a bit pungent, but I really like it. I very much enjoyed this one, at least enough to grab 10 mils of it. And then the oud version is broken. Oh, no. Oh, the oud one, such a beautiful rose and oud combination. The oud is definitely heavier in here. Smoky, it's like that really beautiful smoky oud and rose. It's dark, it's sexy. It's kind of gothic, actually. It kind of feels gothic to me. If you like oud and rose combinations, definitely worth getting like maybe a tester. The oud is very heavy though, and if you don't like smoky, like heavy smoky oud, then you might not like it, but I immediately loved it. When I smelled it, I was like, yeah, I gotta get myself 10 mils of that one. I did end up buying 10 mils from FragranceNet. I got 3 designer scents. I got Good Girl Légère. I got Elie Saab Girl of Now, which is one that I knew I liked. It's a beautiful almond and apple. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It is so the girl of now. And yesterday, and probably tomorrow as well. And then I also got Voce Viva. I've talked about Voce Viva before. You know what? Once I got this 10 mil of Voce Viva and I smelled it, I was like, I feel like it's not as good as I remember. I'm kind of glad I didn't buy a full bottle because I think I would have been a bit disappointed. Maybe after some time, I come back to it and I would enjoy it more. If you're not familiar with Voce Viva, I feel like it's a pretty typical modern. It's got orange blossom. It's got some citrus in there. It's got orange, ginger, bergamot. There is vanilla in there, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's vanilla heavy. It's more heavier on like the citrus and the orange blossom. It's definitely more of a floral scent. This one, it's hard for me to like smell it right now because I don't have anything to really spray it into. There's not like a lid I can spray it into, and I don't want to be spraying a million fragrances in here. I already feel like I'm getting blown out by that rose and oud. That one won't go back down. What's going on there? I don't know. That one just broke. And then the Good Girl Légère. I have had my eyes on this one for so long. And I like it. So I think I was expecting something maybe a little bit milkier. In Good Girl Légère, you've got Dolce de Leche, you've got tonka bean, you've got the white florals, you got tuberose, jasmine, orange blossom, you've got lang lang, cinnamon, cashmere. I don't know why, it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting something just a bit milkier, I guess. Here, I will spray this one just very lightly on my, spray it all over me. don't know. I like it. It's a lot heavier on the floral than I was wanting. I kind of wish it was less heavy on the floral and maybe a little milkier, a little bit softer. I kind of wish it leaned more into that lactonic, creamy element. It's not to say it's bad. It's just, I like it more than the original, I will say. The original Good Girl is not like, maybe it's not for me. It doesn't like blow my tits off or anything. I definitely like the Légère a lot more. After getting the 10 ml, I wouldn't be dying to get a full bottle or anything. I'm just so picky. Most things I wouldn't wear. Like, okay, maybe they're okay and I wouldn't mind smelling them, like they wouldn't offend me. Like I would never wear them personally or go out of my way to even spray them on me. Like even if they were given to me for free, I might not even wear them. I can't be alone in that, right? Like I'm sure most people don't like most fragrances, right? I feel like a fraud sometimes because I'm like, most fragrances are just not for me. That's what I should say. And that's totally fine. Everyone's got preferences. That's what makes life so interesting, is that everyone is different. What even is this right now? I don't even know. I need to make room on this table because I have got so much stuff. That is all of these small sizes out of the way. Okay, I'm going to briefly touch on body sprays because there's not a lot to say. I think I've also spoken about a lot of these before, potentially. A lot of these aren't brand new or anything. Ice Lemon Pound Cake. I actually used a whole thing of the shower gel in the 3 months that I was in the US. I think I used almost the whole thing. This was a gift from my mom. I'm pretty sure she gifted this to me. I do have a small size, but it's like one of my favorite Bath & Body Works scents. It is so good. Like, how did they get that cakiness so good and so real smelling? It's so buttery. It's so buttery, and it's not an overwhelming sweetness. It's like that really savory, buttery, creamy, gourmand. You know what I mean? It's not overly sweet. Even the lemon is not too strong. It still lets that butter. They're so good at that buttery accord that they do in a lot of their like cakey scents. Not surprising. I think this won a lot of people over was Vanilla Romance. This one is cardamom, vanilla absolute, and woods. But I got the lotion, like just the regular body lotion, the shower gel, obviously the spray. This is such a good scent. Not for underarm use. I just realized that this says not for underarm use. Why? Why can't you spray this under your arms? Can someone tell me? It literally says not for underarm use. I don't know why I'm just noticing. Do they all say this? Oh my god. How am I just now noticing this? Anyway, it's vanilla, but it's more spicy. I would say it's more spicy than vanilla. I mean, it is vanilla, but it's not just that like really gourmand vanilla. I really like the spicy, the more leaning into the woods, and I'm a sucker for a good wood. I love a heavy wood fragrance, honestly. I love the heavy vanilla and the heavy wood facet, and the spiciness just, I feel like, makes it perfectly unisex in my opinion. Although I think I had Mr. Zuri smell this and he was like, I don't know if I'd wear it. But he enjoys the lotion and the body gel. The body gel? Why do we always say body gel? It's shower gel. Shower gel, body spray, not body gel. I mean, you do apply it to your body in the shower. Love this one. Very popular. By the way, I don't think I brought it in here with me. Oh, I did. I did bring the lotion in here because, and this is one of the very few I brought in here to talk about because it's one of my absolute favorites. I will smell this for hours, you guys. I will apply this. I will smell it for hours. I think the lotion is actually more spicy. The lotion is even spicier and less vanilla heavy than the body spray. I wore this today. I wore it this morning and I could smell it for hours afterwards. It's not too heavy either. It's not too pungent or potent or offensive. I feel like it's very digestible spiciness with vanilla. I don't know. It's just good. Like, it's whatever, you know, this is a good combination. Lotion, spray. This provides a bit more heavy vanilla. But I love the lotion. I'm very impressed with how long it lasts. Next scent from Bath & Body Works, Sunrise Woods. And I also got the lotion of this, and I use this quite a bit. As you can see, I've used a lot of it. Love this one. Mr. Zuri also really likes this one. I am a sucker for a sweet wood. It's like, if it's a sweet wood, berry, a pear, What is this one? It's actually, so it's sandalwood, berries, and cashmere. You won me. I am so easy. I'm so simple. You give me a fruity wood and I love it. And this is no exception. Look, it's nothing groundbreaking. It's just a good, sweet, fruity wood. And I live for those. I live for those scent stories. Nothing groundbreaking, but I really like it. And so does Mr. Zuri. And he's been using this quite a bit too. I'm getting warm. And my hair... My hair is no longer curly. My hair has given up. My hair is clocked out. It's done. It says, I'm done filming. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I smelled all the ginghams, okay? And I know that line is very popular, and they keep expanding upon that line. Only one that I really liked is Gingham Glow. There is just something so happy. It's so bright. It's so cheerful. I think it's, what is it? It's marigolds. Yeah, so it's golden nectar. So it's just sweet marigolds with sandalwood. And it's just, again, it's simple, but it just makes me happy. It is kind of heavy though. Like the marigold facet is kind of heavy. So I feel like if you don't like marigolds, you're probably not going to like it very much. But I know that a lot of people love this one. Actually, I recently bought some candles on the Australian Bath & Body Works website, and I think I bought 6 candles, and the Gingham Glow was missing from my order. People had bought that out so quickly that somehow I accidentally bought it even when it wasn't available. Obviously a very popular scent, and I can see why. Very great, cheerful, happy, a little bit dense though, so just maybe not for you if you don't like those really dense florals. So yeah, got the body cream of that one too. I think this one will be next once I run out of my... At the moment, I'm using the Sweetheart Cherry body cream. So I think once that's gone, I'm going to move on to the Gingham Glow body cream. Okay, actually, I do have another fragrance, like an actual eau de parfum from Bath & Body Works. And this was actually not for me. This was a gift to Mr. Zuri because he really fell in love with this Bath & Body Works scent. And that is First Sight. So... this is his second tube of First Sight, you guys. His second tube. It's gone. Like, I really like it too. I very much enjoy it. I love smelling it on him. This has a very, like, BR 540-esque. This is very simplified. Very simplified. Definitely sweeter, bergamot, woods, and sugared musk. He loves this. I love smelling it on him, and I bought him the EDP because he can't get enough of it. He keeps using it. I'm gonna have to buy more lotion as well. I think I just sprayed this into my tea. Okay, to be fair, it's hard to smell this over my self-tan. Oh, yeah, it's so good. Listen, I would wear this, but I think this smells better on Mr. Zuri. I actually attempted to list this on my Etsy, and they were like, no. It got taken down, unfortunately. And so because I can't list it, I have been giving it out sometimes as the free sample. If you guys don't know, I do free samples with every order from my decant shop. And if I get someone who's ordered some unisex fragrances or maybe some masculine fragrances, I may or may not throw in, First Sight is one of them that I might do. So if you guys are interested in this, and because I can't list it, I am actually working on a website. That's a whole thing. That's going to be a while, unfortunately. That's a lot of work. Where I will be able to list this, but if you are interested in this and you make an order from my decant shop, just leave me a note and say, hey, can you throw in First Sight as my sample? And I will be more than happy to put this one in there for you, because I think it's worth smelling. It's not bad. It's like a sweeter, more simplified version of a take on a scent story similar to BR 540. There you go. Initially, I bought him another one. I bought the First Sight, and then I bought a second one when they were having the men's collection sale like a couple months ago over in the US. So I bought another one. He didn't like it. I don't remember which one it was. I'm so sorry. So we returned it and we picked out a different one, and he picked Leather Crafted. So the notes in here actually, so you've got leather, apple, and tobacco. So that's where that crisp freshness, I guess, comes from, is that apple. It's good. It's very good. I would say for its simple scent profile, it does it very, very well. for tobacco, a little bit of sweetness from the apple. You've got leather. It's a very typical male scent profile, but I think it does it very, very well. There's nothing that stands out too much. There's nothing pungent or it's not unlikable. Very digestible. This could very easily be like a daily driver. Like, wear this every day if you're if your partner who loves men's fragrances just likes to get one thing and go, and then that's what they wear every day. I think Leather Crafted is a great contender for just a daily driver. Unfortunately, Mr. Zuri has a lot of fragrances at this point. I don't think he reaches for this one too often, but I think it's pretty good. Another one I unfortunately could not list on my Decant shop, so if you want this as your free sample and you make an order, just leave me a little note and let me know you want this one. We've got two, I have lost the lid on this one apparently, Cozy Vanilla Bourbon and Sweet Whiskey. So the Cozy Vanilla Bourbon, you've got bourbon, dark fruit, and vanilla liqueur. This one I revisited many times. As you can see, I've been wearing this one a lot. I actually don't just spray it on myself. Actually, this one I found myself spraying mostly on bedding, pillows, because I feel like it's very cozy, as the name suggests. It definitely lives up to its name. It's one that I like spraying on bedding and like falling asleep with that scent. I like wearing it too, but I also really like applying it on linen. I like to do that with a lot of my body sprays because I just don't know how I'm going to get through all my body sprays. So what I like to do is, especially when linen is wet, like if I just take it out of the wash and hang it up to dry, I'll spray it with a body spray and just go to town. And sometimes I'll smell it like days later after it's dried. And it's really nice. It's really comforting. Another one that I like to do that with is Dark Velvet Oud by Bath & Body Works. That one I'll spray on linen in the cold weather. So yeah, love that one. Sweet Whiskey, I would say I don't like it as much. It's still very soft. So this one's amber whiskey and red berries. So it's not really super boozy. It's the name. Sweet Whiskey. I was going to say it's very sweet. Yeah, sorry, that's literally the name of it. It's giving sweet whiskey. It's giving a slightly fruity whiskey. That's sweet. I mean, what else is there to say about it? I like this one. I like them both. Probably like the vanilla one a little bit more. Obviously, I think I've gotten more wear out of it. I still like this one, but just not as much. Okay, I've only got 3 more body sprays. This one I kind of regret buying. I feel like I smelled it in the store and thought I liked it. Or no, this is one I ordered online while I was over there. I got it. My mom didn't like it. She was like, oh no, I'm going to return it. And I was like, well, I feel like I kind of like it. And that's Wicked Vanilla Woods. I don't know if I like it. I kind of changed my mind about it. This one is Vanilla Amberwood, Glowing Amberwood, and Enchanted Pink Pepper. It's from their Halloween collection, so it's very flamboyant description. I don't know if I like it so much. I don't like the pink pepper in here. I think if it was a different spicy herbiness, maybe I'd like it a little bit more, but the pink pepper in here just isn't hitting quite right. I kind of regret not returning it. Not for me, unfortunately, but I think I've worn it a few times, but I don't really see myself being drawn back to it, if I'm being completely honest with myself. Blueberry Bundt Cake. This one's not new. I think this is a classic. They keep re-releasing it. It's another one where they just get that cakiness so good. So it's blueberries, honey drizzle, and fluffy cake. And it is just that. I got the body lotion of this one too, or the body cream. I didn't bring it in here with me, I don't think. That one actually sits on my nightstand. I love it so much that it actually sits on my nightstand. Usually my very favorites will go on my nightstand. So it's Blueberry Bundt Cake and the Iced Lemon Pound Cake. Those 2 body creams, they are within arm's reach when I'm sitting on my bed because, you know, my hands get dry. I need lotion up my arms, whatever, before bed, especially if I want something really cozy and comforting. Those are the kind of scents that I am drawn to. So I don't know if that says anything to you. It may or may not. But the spray is probably not as good. I think the lotion's a lot better of the Blueberry Bundt Cake, but I still like it. So if I were to wear it out and about, definitely would layer this one on top of the lotion. Really like that. They're so good at the cakey ones. Not all of them, but most of them. I think this is the very last Bath & Body Works item, If You Musk. Look at this. If it wasn't obvious how much I like this one. This is actually the only scent of this line, like the designer dupe line, that my mom didn't send to me. I don't know if you guys remember, but I did a haul like months ago. My mom sent me she sent me like every other, like a decan of every other one of these from this line. This is the only one she didn't send me because she didn't actually buy it because she didn't like it. So I saw this one in the store and was like, oh, I didn't even know that this one existed. And I went to smell it and it blew my tits off. This is one of them where, like, yeah, my tits were blown. So this one is Iris Pink Pepper. See, sometimes I like pink pepper. Sometimes pink pepper can be really good. It's got to be done right. An airy musk. Now, unfortunately, my mom said it smells like feet. I don't think it smells like feet at all. I think it smells like a juicy, sweet, earthy iris. To be honest, I don't really smell a very strong pink pepper even. I know a lot of people compare this one to Glossier's You. I have not smelled that, but if it's anything like If You Musk, like truly, if this is a true dupe or even if it's a simplified, sweetened version of Glossier's You, I feel like I would very much enjoy it because I am obsessed with If You Musk. I love this so much. Why have they not released body care of these? I was pissing and shitting. Like, why? I would buy every single thing of this. The lotion, the body gel. It's not body gel. It's body spray and shower gel. Body butter, body cream, everything. I would buy everything in this scent. I love it so much. I have sprayed a lot of this. Me using this much of a body spray so quickly after I purchase it means a lot because I have a lot of body sprays, and if I'm going back to something this often, you know I love this one. One of my absolute favorites now from Bath & Body Works. Isn't my absolute favorite? I don't know if I can say that, but definitely my favorite from the line, from that like designer dupe line. Oh, I can't get enough of it. I want everything to smell like this. I honestly, and this is another one where I was spraying everything. I was spraying the carpet, spraying the bedding, spraying myself. I would just spray everything. I wanted everything to smell like this because I love it so much. So I'm going to be very sad when this is gone. I'm going to cry a million tears because I don't even think this is available in Australia. Is this one available in Australia? Are these designer dupes available in Australia yet? I actually don't know. There is one more body spray. It's not from Bath & Body Works, but it is Sabrina Carpenter's Cherry Baby, the Sweet Tooth Cherry Baby. It's a lot boozier than I thought it would be. Actually, when I spray this, I actually get quite a heavy booziness. At first, I was like, well, is that because it's just a fragrance mist? It's, heavier alcohol content. Am I just smelling alcohol? At first, I wasn't really sure. It's very sour cherry. Like, it's not like a super overly sweet cherry. It's a more of like a boozy sour cherry. There's still sweetness in there, don't get me wrong, but I think if you're used to like more candy-like cherry scents, like let's say Seductive Red by Guess or something like that, this definitely leans more like on the tart sour spectrum. If it were a spectrum. So yeah, I don't mind it. I quite like it. I don't love it. I didn't buy the EDP of this while I was there. In hindsight, I kind of wish I did. I ended up buying it anyways. I actually bought it off FragranceNet like a week ago or something. So it's on its way to me. Unfortunately, I had to pay a very pretty penny for it, ordering it in Australian dollars. I did buy the EDP of this. It'll be here in a couple weeks probably. And I'll talk about that one, even though I know everyone's probably already talked about it a million times. I like the body spray. It's not bad. For, however much it was, I think it was like $10 or $15 from Walmart or something, or 10, I think it was like 9 or 10 USD from Walmart. It's pretty good. I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. These fragrances, these are full bottle fragrances. I've got a mix of designer and Middle Eastern scents. So I guess I will just start with, I actually got gifted this. And you guys know I've talked about this many times and raved about it, is La Belle Paradise Garden. Finally got a full bottle, okay? And she's been worn. All right, she's been worn. If you guys aren't familiar with this one, it's got Violet. This does not have Violet. Blue Lotus, Vanilla, and Iris.
Very simple scent story, but I think it's very beautiful. If you don't like heavy aquatics, you might not like this one. But even if you don't, because my mom doesn't like heavy aquatics, and she smelled this one and she was like, can I steal 10 mils from you? And I was like, yes, go ahead. So even my mom, someone who does not like heavy aquatic fragrances, she still really liked this one. I think it's very digestible with the heavy vanilla. It's a lot smoother, but it's still like that summery, like fresh, watery kind of scent profile. I'm just a sucker for iris. Is it just the iris in here? Is that why I love it so much? It's a combination of things, but yeah, I know I've seen some of you say like, I went and smelled this and it was fine. Like, it wasn't that great. Like, I think you're being a bit dramatic. And maybe. I think it's just because I love iris. I like iris a lot. I'm not gonna say I always love it because I don't. This is actually one, again, that I would layer with Boardwalk Delight. I think I've layered everything with Boardwalk Delight at this point. If I'm feeling like I spray too heavy of something, I'm like, all right, I'm putting Boardwalk Delight on top, and it like smooths it out pretty well. But I like this one. I like this just by itself. Lattafa Affection. I did a video on Care Pistachio, and I think I left a comment on that video. I was like, thumbs up this comment if you guys want me to get Affection. Because I know a lot of you were like, nah, Care Pistachio ain't it, fam. Get Lattafa Affection. And I did. I finally did. I don't know if I like it more. You know what? I think it's definitely still improved since I bought it like a couple months ago. Actually, if I could compare the two right now. Spoiler alert, I also bought Care Pistachio. So I now have both of these. If I were to compare, Care is almost more fruity. This is just me smelling them off the top. I will say it's very powdery. If you're not someone who enjoys powdery fragrances, you might not like this. Or even Care Pistachio. Just be warned, they're nutty, but they're also very powdery. Now, obviously, this is still only like a little, maybe like a month and a half old. I will say, even smelling it now, it has smoothed quite a bit still. I think this is just gonna be one, I wouldn't wear this in the summer. I don't think. It's still a bit too thick for summer for me. So perhaps when I revisit this one beginning of autumn next year, maybe then I'll whip it out and it will be something that I can see myself wearing more often. Maybe I'm just not super drawn to pistachio. It could be that. I'm gonna have to sit on these and like do some actual testing because I haven't actually worn them side by side before. I did wear Affection a couple of times, but I don't really remember. It didn't leave a lasting impression on me enough for me to just remember off the top of my head. I think perhaps I'll have to do like a head-to-head kind of direct comparison thing where I spray one on each arm and see how I go. I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated. Obviously, these are both up. If you guys want to sample these and you're in Australia, I now have both. Along with Care Pistachio, this is actually super annoying. So right before I was leaving the US, and this was a couple weeks before, I was like, okay, I'm hitting the point where I need to order stuff now. Like if I'm going to buy anything else online, I need to order it now so it has enough time to come. So I ordered Care Pistachio and I ordered Care Confection. I think it arrived like I left on a Monday. It arrived on the Friday before. And I was actually worried it wasn't going to arrive in time, so I was very happy. And they sent me Care Fusion. I was very upset because I really wanted to try Care Confection. I had already smelled Care Fusion. I have a decant of it. I've already done a video on it. I already know what it smells like. I was very upset with them. But unfortunately, it was like, well, what am I going to do? Like, I don't have time to send it back and for them to send me the new one. This really sucks because if you want to buy it here in Australia, it's like $80 or something like that. I don't know. It's just a lot more to buy it here. I don't know if you guys, maybe I'll share the name so that you guys can avoid them. I think it was like Gift Express or something like that. The other two items that I ordered from them, perfectly fine, smells fine, but they just gave me the wrong thing. I was like, I don't know. Was it like a little weird bait and switch moment where they just added that to get the order and then they're like, oops, we accidentally put the wrong one, and I don't know. Whatever. I had a lot of shipping and order issues while I was over in the US, like more than I've ever had before. That's another story. After coming back from the US, I'm sure a lot of people have critiques for Ozpost, but to be honest, compared to the US,
Ozpost is pretty damn efficient. I've never had parcels go miss. I mean, obviously this is just my experience, but I would say compared to, unfortunately, the experiences I've had with shipping, like buying stuff online in the US and getting it shipped, way worse. It's just way worse. Stuff gets lost. Postal inspector takes it. I never see it again. That's another story. I didn't even get some stuff that I ordered because it was just confiscated and it just didn't get to me before I left. So that was great. So I have this instead of Care Confection and I'm really upset about it. I'm actually genuinely upset. I was genuinely upset, but I was like, well, what am I going to do? This is not a video to complain about Gift Express. To be fair, they did. I was like, listen, can you just refund me the difference? Because they weren't the same price. I said, can you just refund me the difference? It was like a few dollars and they did that, which is like, fine, whatever. I could have argued for them to just give me a full refund, but I didn't have it in me, okay? This was right before I was meant to leave. The other thing that was in that order from Gift Express was Nebris by Lattafa. I think I bought a decant of this, so I had smelled it before, but now I have a full bottle. I really love the scent. Scent is really great. I just wish it was stronger. I wish it lasted longer. Unfortunately, it just becomes a skin scent, like really quickly. It's lovely chocolate and berries. I would say the berries are heavier than the chocolate facet. I really enjoy Nebris. It's just the longevity sucks. The longevity, the projection, totally blows. I don't know. I'm hoping it'll improve. I know a lot of them do. Out of the box, I wasn't super impressed. Still love the smell. The smell is great. Love the smell. I just wish it lasted longer. Another Middle Eastern scent, Assad Zanzibar. This one, if you're not familiar, it's like salty iris. There's vanilla, lavender. It's a little bit pungent, like a little bit. The salt, I don't know. For some reason, the salt is very heavy to me. I don't know if it comes across that way to everyone else, but I don't know. For some reason, the salt is just so heavy, and the powderiness is like really thick. I was very surprised to smell how powdery it is. I actually think I could wear this, to be honest. I feel like this leans even more unisex, but also I really just like iris. I'm not blown away, okay? It's not blowing my tits off. I like it. I think Mr. Zuri smelled this one and he wasn't like a huge fan of it or anything. So fair enough. I actually have not smelled the original Assad. I'm still trying to find it for like a decent price. I feel like for how old the fragrance is, some places still want just way too much for it. I don't know. Next one I'm super excited about. Kismet Magic. Now this is renamed. So this was formerly Kismet Angel. Maison Alhambra. Oh my God. This is another one where I bought it and I opened it and my mom came to smell it and she was like, can I have some? So I don't own Angel Share. I have a decant and it's probably gone at this point. I've probably had it for well over a year. My decant of it's like 2 or 3 mils. My mom smelled it. She has a full bottle of Angel Share and she smelled this and she has a lot of these like scent stories. I think she has like Fragrance World's version or like Paris Corners. I can't remember. There's so many versions of this scent story, right? Like dupes of Angel Share. So she smelled this and she goes, this is the closest thing I've smelled to Angel Share. I will say, this is my favorite of these like boozy, fruity, like that apple pie-esque scent. Cinnamon, tonka bean, praline, sweetness, vanilla. This is so good. Okay, I will say, the first spray, a little offensive. Its initial spray is like, it's very alcohol, okay? Once it dries down, this stuff is delicious. It smells so good. I could eat it. I could drink this stuff if it wouldn't kill me. No, that's not true. I feel like it's light enough to where I could wear it even when it's warm. I feel like the sweetness isn't too heavy or thick, dense. I feel like it's still like a brighter sweetness, so I could probably wear this in warmer weather. In fact, I'm hosting Friendsgiving this year. My first ever Friendsgiving. Very stressed about that, by the way. But this is something I feel like I could wear where it's like still suitable for warmer weather, because obviously we're in spring, but it's still like festive, I guess. I feel like this would be perfect. In fact, this might be what I wear for Friendsgiving. And I'm pretty sure it's meant to be warm that day. We're doing it on Saturday, not Thursday. Highly recommend. If you can get it cheap, I would just buy it. Like, this is so mass appealing. I don't know how you couldn't like this. I feel like everyone will like this. But just be warned, initial spray, you gotta let it dry down, because initial spray can be a little bit offensive, but you let it dry down. Beautiful, sweet, still a bright sweetness, not overwhelming. Beautiful spices. Ugh, it's just, I love it. One of my best purchases, honestly, of the year. One of my best purchases of the year for the price I paid. Super cheap as well. Okay, the next one is not a new fragrance to me, but I decided to buy a full bottle, and that is Fakar Rose by Lattafa. If you guys remember, you watched my video on this, I did a direct comparison to, I think, My Way by Giorgio Armani or something, or maybe L'Entrée, I don't remember exactly, actually. I don't remember what I compared it to. I remember my first impression of this being holy bubblegum tuberose. If you like heavy tuberose and you like more of that bubblegum sweet, like candied tuberose scent, you're gonna like this. It's very strong, very potent. I will say though, now that I don't know if it just needs some time. Again, this is like only a couple months old. Well, is it even a couple months old? It might be newer than that since I've opened it. I feel like it's still maybe a little bit too pungent for me. I would use a very light hand when spraying this, and maybe I would layer it with something a bit softer, just to soften all the harsh edges, just because it is such a potent floral. If you're prone to headaches from fragrance, this might, I don't know, I guess everyone's triggers are different, but I feel like I smell this from the bottle and I go, I feel like I might get a headache from this. I haven't wanted to wear it personally. I think it smells lovely. It's just very strong, and I just get that feeling. You know what I mean? You smell it and you just know. You just feel it. All the more for you guys. Because I feel like I'm not going to be able to wear this without getting ill, unfortunately. Okay, the next two are designer. They're both Viktor and Rolf. I got Good Fortune and Good Fortune Elixir. Okay, so let me talk about Good Fortune, because I feel like I remember smelling a sample of this like ages ago. It was one of those peely ones. Those are deceptive, I feel like, because that was a very thick, sweet white floral. So this has got jasmine. It's got fennel. It's still got vanilla. It's got gentiana. The fennel gives it like an herby spiciness, like a green, like almost like a greenness. Probably not for everyone. I like it. This actually came with a 10 ml. I bought it in a gift set, so I got a 10 ml with it. So I haven't used that up yet, so this is like virtually untouched, this bottle. I could see why some people don't like it. I still enjoy it, but this, I don't remember it smelling like this versus the sample that I originally smelled. I feel like the jasmine was like creamier, a little bit sweeter, smoother. And then when I smell this, I'm like, okay, well, that fennel kind of throws me off. It's a bit edgy, crisp, like herby. Not necessarily bad. It's just not what I remember. And then I found this at like not an overstock store, but it's like a small cosmetic store. They'll just get random, or maybe it's gray market, I'm not really sure. I went back and I got Good Fortune Elixir. Now this is what the frick I'm talking about. She's got jasmine and vanilla, but she's also got incense. So I feel like this is a true like elixir. So you've still got the jasmine, you've still got the vanilla, you've got a smokiness, so you've got incense, and you've got Palo Santo, which also can smell like a little bit smoky. I love Palo Santo. I can definitely smell it in here. I would say if you don't like Palo Santo, you might not like this, but it's very sultry. It's very sexy, nighttime, date night. That's what I think of when I smell this one. Could not wear this in the warm weather. There is no way. I only wear this at night when it's probably cooler. Otherwise, I feel like you could very easily overwhelm the senses. if you catch my drift. But I do very much enjoy it. It's very sexy. I like this version of jasmine where it's all like sexed up, you know what I mean? With that smokiness and that Palo Santo. I love it. I love that. Probably won't be able to wear this one for a while though, but really enjoy this. I like it more than do I like it more than the original? I think I would wear it very different times. So maybe not necessarily comparable. I think I like the Elixir more though. I think it's a bit better. Not a new one. This is actually one that I had Mr. Zuri buy for me while I was gone. I think I had him buy, I think I must have click and collect while I was in the US, and I was like, hey, can you go pick this up from Chemist Warehouse? I did end up buying a couple bottles of Caramel Dream, Sweet Tooth Caramel Dream. I will say, I don't like it as much as the original. It's not as sweet. It leans more into some spicy notes in here. And it doesn't have that fluffiness that the original Sweet Tooth does. It doesn't give like chocolate. I don't know. I feel like I don't really get a lot of chocolatiness. At least not sweet. Maybe some cocoa, like spicy cocoa. But I feel like we've lost the fluffiness. We've lost a lot of that sweetness. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not loving it. Maybe it's the patchouli that is, maybe I'm picking up the patchouli a lot more strongly. I like it. It just doesn't give me that like cozy vibe that the original Sweet Tooth does. And I'm actually very surprised that the original Sweet Tooth still gets more orders than Caramel Dream, even though it's been out for a lot longer. So yeah, I don't like it as much as the original. Obviously, when Cherry Baby gets here, hopefully in a couple weeks, I will talk about that one too. But based off the body spray, I think it will be better. I think I probably like it more than this one, unfortunately. Okay, I'm gonna quickly breeze over some Britney Spears scents because these aren't new. I think these have been out for ages, but I just recently acquired these bottles, and 2 of them were purchased while, again, I wasn't here. I bought them online, had Mr. Zuri pick them up for when I got back here, because actually, sometimes celebrity fragrances are actually cheaper for me to buy in Australia versus over in the US. So for example, Candied Fantasy. I think this bottle was, 30 or 35 USD. Normally, her fantasies go for 40 AUD. For me, that's cheaper to buy in Australia. I just had Mr. Zuri pick those up while I was gone. Fantasy Intense. You guys know how I feel about this one and how much I love this iteration of Fantasy. I know a lot of people say this actually reminds them more of the original formulation of the original Fantasy. This, to me, it takes that original Fantasy DNA and it gives it more depth, more maturity. It's got added patchouli, a stronger woody facet, but you still have that cupcake accord. You still have that like chocolatey, like that white chocolate sweetness in there, but you've just got some added depth, and it's still nostalgic. So for me, I smell this and I go, well, I could wear this now. It definitely still smells like, it reminds me of the original Fantasy, takes me back a little bit, but I think it's something that you could get away with wearing. Maybe if you're afraid of, maybe something that's teeny bopper, if that's something you're worried about, maybe give this one a smell. Definitely test first, but maybe give this one a try. I don't know if it's still available at Chemist Warehouse for my Australian Goyles. This one was $40 at Chemist Warehouse. I don't know if it's still there. I know a lot of them were in the store, so hopefully more accessible than just having to blind buy. But yeah, really like that one. Another one that was also picked up was Fantasy Sheer. This one is a very light version of Fantasy. It's citrus, it's aquatic, it's fresh. Still very sweet. Cupcake, but it's got like an added citrus element, and it's just a bit brighter and crisper, I guess, if you will. A Fantasy I bought while I was in the US is Electric Fantasy, and I've had my eyes on this for a very long time. So Electric Fantasy just completely does away with that cupcake accord. There is none of that in here. This is a very it's a more tropical version of Fantasy. It's got passion fruit. You've got jasmine, heliotrope. You've got pink pepper, so you got a bit of that bite, that sparkle at the top. So it's, it's still very feminine and flirty, but it just doesn't have that really dense cupcake sweetness. You get the fruity sweetness instead, and it's got benzoin and ambroxan in the base. It's a very thick benzoin. It's very, very thick. I would say if this were a scent I would wear in the tropics, it's probably something I would wear more at nighttime. If that makes sense to you guys, like if I were to take this to Bali, probably wouldn't wear it during the day. Probably something I'd wear at night, going out to eat, to a, you know, dinner at the beach or something. I don't know. That's kind of like what this makes me think of, is like nighttime tropics. How did this turn into this? 2 more that I bought while I was in the US, and then I've actually got a few that I bought recently. I went really crazy this month, you guys. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've gone very crazy with fragrances this month. I'm definitely in like full fragrance mode now that I'm back. I'm ready to jump back into reviews, getting on the new releases and making videos on them and everything. So we are so on now. Let's LFG, you know what I mean? I have had my eyes on this for a while. I did a video on Lattafa's niche Emirati line. Not every single one, but I think there were like 10 fragrances or something in there. One of them I spoke about was like resembled Gris Charnel. I remember saying I really, really liked it, and then you guys were like, oh, you gotta try Liam Gray by Lattafa. And I bought it. Okay, listen. You guys must know me pretty well. I love this. This to me is so, so good. It's that another iris one just reels me in. This has got cardamom, vanilla, iris. It's got a little bit of a spicy sweetness from the fig, but it's not overbearing. This to me is like oddly comforting. I don't know what it is. Maybe it is the iris, and like that powdery, earthy iris is like it just screams comfort to me for some reason. This is such a beautiful unisex fragrance. I have not smelled the original, you know, Gris Charnel. I don't know what it smells like, but I love this. So thank you to whoever suggested this to me. You know me so well. How did you know I would like this? Maybe you didn't. Maybe you were just guessing. And it has actually been pretty popular since I put it up on my decant shop. You guys seem to like this one. And I've just added this. So yeah, you guys like this one a lot. Yeah, with good reason. Another one that I picked up is Lattafa's Amir Al Oud Intense Oud. Now, I did a video on this months ago. It was a decant. I think I purchased a decant of this and I smelled it and I immediately fell in love with it. I think I raved about this one. That really dense, syrupy, smoky vanilla and oud. I loved it. I guess this is meant to resemble By the Fireplace. I don't remember what By the Fireplace by Replica smells like off the top of my head. Unfortunately, when I opened this one, I think this one needs maybe a little bit more time. I'm sure decants probably smell a lot better than the juice here. It's improving, definitely, since I first bought it. Still a little bit bright, and it's not as smooth as I remember it being. So this is one that definitely will, I think, improve with time. Oh, but even now, I love it. I still love it. It's a cozy oud, like sticky incense, creamy vanilla sweetness. There is something like almost syrupy in here. Like it's almost giving like a sugary syrup. I mean, it is sugar. It is on the list of notes, to be fair. I would say, okay, I don't remember By the Fireplace smelling exactly like this, but I think I like this more than By the Fireplace. I think this is heavier and thicker and denser. I don't remember By the Fireplace being so thick and heavy. Maybe it's more smoky and a bit lighter. I actually don't remember that. I'm just pulling that out of my ass. Love this one. Again, another popular one. I just added this one to my shop, and very popular one. Next 4 I bought recently. I was perusing the Chemist Warehouse website, as I do. And if you are an Australian and you peruse the Chemist Warehouse website, especially the fragrance section, you probably will have noticed that there is no like sort by new, unfortunately. So I can't go, oh, what's new in the fragrance section at Chemist Warehouse? There's no way for me to do that. If you know of a way, please let me know. So instead what I do is I just go through, like, I just have it bookmarked and I'll check the fragrance section of Chemist Warehouse's website like frequently, like at least once a week. I'll check the first few pages. I'll check the back few pages as well. I'll just skim through, I'll sort by price and go, okay, what's in this price range that I haven't seen before? And look what was there. I think they must have just restocked this recently because the last time I remember seeing it was not that long ago and it was sold out everywhere in Australia. I don't know where they got this batch of Cloud 2.0. If you guys have watched my favorite fragrances of 2023, oh my god, I need to film that for this year. Oh shit. This was one of my favorite fragrances of 2023 and it is legit. Like it's legit. Like I smell it and that is what Cloud 2.0 smells like. So they are like real if you're worried about it being not real. It's on the Chemist Warehouse website. If you are in Australia and you're interested, it's $80. So because it's still one of her like limited edition ones. So I don't think this will ever go down in price. I'm actually surprised that they even popped up and managed to get a batch of these. Oh my it's just, it basically takes what I don't like about Cloud. Okay, let me rephrase this. In my opinion, this is her best scent. Is that a hot take? This is my favorite scent of hers anyway. This basically takes the original Cloud, makes it creamier, more comforting. You've got a heavier wood in the base as well. So it's like deeper, thicker, more comfy, more creamy. It's got cashmere added, which would explain why it's a little bit more comforting. Let's compare the notes. Let's look at the differences. In Cloud 2.0, you've still got the lavender, you've still got the pear sweetness, you've got a heavier musk also, which I love the musk in here. It's still very comforting, very smooth musk. You've also got ambroxan, and you've just got a heavier wood accord too. Like I said, I'm always down for a good wood. You know what I mean? Naturally, I saw this and I immediately bought it. I was worried that it was going to sell out pretty quickly, but I don't really think people have even noticed that this is back in stock because it's still in stock. So if you're interested in just blind buying a bottle and you're in Australia, get in quick because I don't know how many there are. I checked a couple days ago and it was still in stock, but I finally have a full bottle of one of my favorite fragrances of last year, which is just crazy. I couldn't find it for a reasonable price. It also lasts way longer than the original Cloud. Like as soon as this arrived, I sprayed it all over. It's all I could smell for the next few hours. I was getting whiffs constantly. Like, you know how sometimes you spray a scent on and then you kind of just forget about it and you're like, wait, I don't smell it anymore. And you realize a couple hours later, you're like, wait, I sprayed a fragrance and I don't even smell it. You will never forget that this is on. This sucker lasted a good few hours and the projection was very good. Very happy with this one. Very, very happy. If you like the original Cloud, but you want something, cozier, maybe a bit deeper, thicker, richer, try Cloud 2.0. I'm talking so much. Okay, this is one that I just recently picked up and I've had my eye on it for a while and I don't know why I bit the bullet. I just bit the bullet. It's Lattafa's Tharwa Gold. This is another one from their Pride range. This is meant to be a dupe of YSL Libre. I love it. I will say, okay, I like this. I will say listen, I don't have YSL Libre like on me. I think I have a decant somewhere. I don't know. I don't really feel like fishing around for it. I feel like it's not quite as smooth as I remember the original YSL Libre being. I feel like the original Libre is better blended. This has gotten more of a, like the orange blossom is like a little more pungent in this, and perhaps it just needs time. Obviously, I'm just smelling it straight from the atomizer. This sucker sticks, okay? This sucker lasts ages. I sprayed it on clothing, and I could smell it the next day and the day after. I will say, you don't need a lot, and what you do spray, you will smell this the next day on fabric. Love her for that. I think I did wear it, immediately opened it, sprayed it on myself. I think I probably went maybe a little too heavy-handed. I think if you're going to wear this is a note to myself. I wouldn't go so heavy-handed just because of how strongly it projects. You don't need much of this and it lasts a long time. So as far as performance goes, A+. Yeah, if you do overspray, I feel like it could be headache inducing, at least for me. So I have to be mindful of that. I do enjoy it though. Probably not as smooth as the original, but it's still pretty good. And it probably, well, does it last longer? It probably lasts longer too. I don't know. Just based on absolutely nothing. That's just conjecture. I've got 2 more. These are both from Paris Corner. These I grabbed last week. Of course, immediately ripped them open and smelled them. December Vanilla by Paris Corner. This is allegedly a dupe of Sugared Patchouli by Kayali. Now, I will say it is similar. I would say it's not quite as complex. It doesn't quite have that depth of spiciness that the original does. This is one of my favorite Kayali scents, by the way, the Sugared Patchouli. It's one of the only ones I actually own like a retail bottle like this. I would say that this is more, that patchouli is just, it's just more complex. It's just more like realistic, and it's also a bit deeper. It's a bit more sensual. I would say December Vanilla, Paris Corner's version of this scent story, it's a bit brighter. It's a bit smoother, actually. I feel like when I sprayed this on, it was like maybe a little bit more actually vanilla-y. Like I said, a bit smoother, a bit brighter. This is like the daytime version, perhaps, of Vanilla Royale. Like this is something like the original Kayali, like Sugar Patchouli. I would only wear this at night, almost always when it's cool outside. I would never wear this one in the heat. That is, you're gonna choke someone out. This one, maybe you could get away with wearing this one in like the summer nighttime. Still wouldn't go around wearing it in the hot heat because it's just so like thick and heavy patchouli. If they were sisters, this is like the lighter, more daintier, always has a blowout, and she is like maybe gothic. She likes experimental pop. She's got like a really blunt bob or something. That's her. These descriptions literally mean nothing. I have no idea what that means. I realized this really didn't end up being a favorites video. This is just like, look at all the shit I bought in the last 4 months. You guys don't mind, right? Next one is Paris Corner's Rifa Cat. Is that how you say this? Oh my god, yet again. This is, I guess, a dupe of Baby Cat. YSL's Baby Cat. I have not smelled the original, but what I will say, that this actually ticks a box of scents that I feel like I've been more interested in finding recently, and I am having issues finding, that are like very sensual feminine suede scents, and this is definitely giving that. Like, this is very date night, sexy. There's still a little bit of sweetness in here. There's some spiciness too. The notes are actually on here, by the way. Elemi, pink pepper, black. So you got pink and black pepper. You've got elemi, which is like a balsamic note, saffron, olibanum, vanilla, and cedar. It smells like suede. I feel like the combination of these notes, or maybe there's a note that isn't listed. I feel like on their website they list suede as a note, but it's just not on the bottle. It smells like suede. It smells like a very light, spicy suede, very delicate still. It's not too heavy or thick, but it's still got like that woody balsamic element that makes it a little fresh and bright. This is very sexy leather. I feel like it could be better. I did just get this one last week. So this one and December Vanilla both came last week. So with time, I'm sure they will improve, but I already have a feeling that this is gonna be one of my favorites. I love the soft leather in here. I actually feel like the pink and the black pepper aren't that strong for me. Maybe it's because it's a new bottle. Perhaps that's why. But it does not overpower like this leathery accord that I'm getting. So love it for that. That's it. How many fragrances was that? Do you guys want to count? I don't know how many that was. This isn't everything I've purchased in the last like 3-4 months. Obviously, there's a lot of body care items, even candles, like candles that I've purchased. I don't know how, if you guys are interested in those, maybe that can be like a separate video where I talk about maybe household items that have fragrance, body care. Maybe I should keep those separate. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm very happy to be back. What better way to come back than with like an hour-long video, which is what this is probably going to end up being. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you have these I know you guys have a lot of these fragrances because you guys are the ones who suggested a lot of these to me. So first of all, thank you. Thank you for your suggestions. I love hearing your suggestions. If you have some of these scents and you've had them for longer than me, definitely let me know how they've changed, especially like Rifa Cat and December Vanilla. I'm very excited to see how these ones mature. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you for the warm welcome. I did leave a community post and you guys were very welcoming. Thank you so much. I'm excited. Had a good break, had a great time with family, but now I'm ready to get back into talking about fragrances, talking about new releases, doing comparisons, just filming and uploading. I feel like I need some now routine in my life. I feel like I've been without routine for about 4 months now, and I need that routine again, and I feel like this helps me with that. It's like a twofer. I get to talk about something I enjoy and also create order in my life, because I feel like I'm just walking chaos sometimes. So my butt hurts. My butt hurts from sitting this long. These aren't real, by the way. That's fake. That's fake. Oh, and that's not a piercing. Just in case you were curious, literally nobody asked. Yeah, not real. Whenever I have the urge to modify my body, which I do often, trust me, either dyeing my hair a completely different color, dyeing it all black, chopping it off. How many new piercings should I get? Should I get an eyebrow piercing? Should I get a lip? I used to have so many facial piercings and I always ended up taking them out. I could never stick to one, which is just a waste of money, honestly. A waste of pain and a waste of money. You will see me in the next one. Stupid.